everyone, this is Chris. Thank you for joining me. Today we are going to do some temporary decorations. So the first one I'm going to show you is this little container. It's a glass jar, a recycled glass jar. And what I have done here, I hope the camera will be able to catch it, but I've been doing some painting on my glass here. If I just turn it around like this, you might see it better. And I try to put some white inside. Gold color is maybe not the best color I could use here for the camera, but I'm sorry. I'm going to show you another one. So this is just a small, it used to be a baby food jar. You can put a candle in this. I have a big one here, and I used green sand to put inside, artificial sand. And I've used some metallic white inside here, and it's really nice. And why do I say it's temporary? Because I'm just using ordinary, average acrylic paint, so that's how it looks like here, and it's really easy to do. And I like temporary decorations because you don't have to cook this paint. You can still put your fingers, if you need to wash it a little bit, you can do it because acrylic dries like plastic. But what I mean by temporary is not, if you really want to take it away, you'll be able to do that with just using water and scrape it off. It's quite easy to take it away on glass, much easier than on your clothes. And you can, like this, change your decorations without having to buy other glass jars. These can be used as also little vases. You could do the same technique on vases, actually. Anything that is glass, it's easier to take it away. You can also take it away from plastic, but it's much easier. So I think it's a nice way to change decorations every time you need, depending maybe on the season, or if you're having guests home, you can change according to maybe your dish color, and you don't have to buy everything something new. So that's what I like about it. If you want to make it permanent, you can have some acrylic paints like, what is this brand? Enamel paint that is going to be there on your glass. I think it cures in 21 days, or you can also bake it. You've got also the Martha Stewart acrylic paint that you can put in the oven. And I've just put a little bit of tulle here on the top and a little ribbon here and a rose to make it look nice. It would be better with a different color, I think, maybe of candle, but that's not that important. I just wanted to show you how nice it can look. So I'm going to use a different color now because I think you'll be able to see this better. So what you will need for this, and for my decorations, I just used a paper doily. You can find these in any store. You can have them in different sizes, different shapes. The one I used was this one. It was because the glass was bigger. And actually it's because I was trying to clean up my room, and I found these doilies, and they were, I can't really use them now because look at these, okay, it's not nice. So I thought I might do something with them. And then I thought, well, I can trim them down and use them as a stencil on my glasses. That's how the idea came. So what I'm going to do here is just use a part of my doily. So I'm going to cut it probably in half. And actually you can put your doily wherever you want to put it on your glass. So the possibilities are almost endless. What I mean by this is that you can put it like this all the way up to the top of your glass, and you can then with a brush paint all over here. So you're going to have your design that is going to be big and on top. But you can also put your doily more like in the center of your glass and leave that space empty like I did here. Okay, let me show you that again. It stops around there where I start putting my tulle. Okay, that's where the decoration stops, because I didn't want to do it all the way up. Or you can do just the top of your glass here, do it like this, and repeat this every time you need to. So what I'm going to do right now is just trim like half of it, because that's what I decided to do here. So that's quite easy. All right. And yes, I think I like it this way. So again, I'm not going to go straight up to the top, and I need to fix this. So I do have repositionable glue, a spray glue, but what I think is not good here because I have really tiny holes, and I'm afraid that if I spray this here, it's going to clog my holes, and when I will apply the paint, it's going to go on my glass, but it will stay in there, stay in my paper, okay? It will not transfer to the glass. So what I decided is just using some double-sided tape, and I'm only going to put it here on the plain side here on my paper. It is still going to help me keep my doily in place. And then I'll help myself with my fingers to make sure that everything is well positioned, because the secret here is to not move your paper, and you still need to work it out quite quickly. I'm just making sure there's only one here. I think so. There's only one doily. Make sure that you don't take two at a time. It's not always easy to find out, but I think it's good. Also, you need to wash your glass thoroughly before, and maybe even wash it afterwards with a little bit of rubbing alcohol to make sure that it's not greasy. It's better to do it before. And then to apply your paint, again, I'm going to use this Amsterdam paint. You've got many brands, whatever the brand is. If you want to, I think it's better if you use a opaque paint. You're going to see it better, especially if you want to put something into your glass. But be careful, some acrylic paints can be more translucent, so depending really on what you want. And if you're not happy with it when you apply it, you can immediately wash it with some dish soap and water. Only use cold water for this because hot water tends to cook the paint and it's going to be more difficult to take it away. So you can have these kinds of brushes, foam brushes. You also have these in black. It doesn't matter the color, but honestly what I like best, especially to go into these crevices, is using this kind of tool, which is a stipple tool that is also made for stencils, and it's really nice because they come in a variety of sizes. So you've got the big ones if you were doing a very big surface, and you also have tiny ones for more details or more intricate designs like I have here. So I'm probably going to use only these two because I don't have a big space to cover up. And that's it. And yes, to finish it up, after it's dry, your paint is completely dry, you might want to use a cutting tool like this to scrape off your paint. Don't worry, it's not going to hurt your glass. If you do it slowly, you can scrape it off when it's dry completely. Okay, so I'm just going to use now a piece of paper and apply my paint. And I'm going to do it blue just for the purpose of the video because I know that you will be able to see it better. And it's quite a thick paint here, so that's quite nice. So I'm just going to press down here. I don't need to put a lot. Don't put a lot at one time. Just go back over if you need to. And I'm just going to start here and stipple. Don't brush because that's where you might put your paint under your stencil. I like this blue. Ooh, I like it. It's kind of, there's green in this blue. It's beautiful. And then you can change also the color of the sand if you decide to put sand in here. I'm not going to go all the way up to the edge with this big brush. I'm going to change afterwards. And it's really fast to do. You could try to do this with a lace, a fabric lace. It may not work with all of them, and of course you can use stencils, glass stencils. They need to be flexible because of the shape of the glass. But I'm just trying to show you that even if you don't have specific materials or tools, you can still do some very nice decorations. And this is not expensive at all, but you can only use it once, okay? Now I'm going to take this small one, and I'm really going to go slowly up to the edge of my doily here and apply my paint. And I'm trying to work fairly quickly because my doily is a paper doily, and it's going to start to buckle, and I really want this to look nice. And in case I missed the spot, you can always come back afterwards with maybe a toothpick and fill the blanks or the little spots maybe that happened. So yeah, something really fine, a fine applicator, just to make sure everything is perfect. And again, I'm pressing down, I'm not brushing my paint, right? One more here. And what is also very important, and you'll see this in a second, is that you need to take your stencil, or here your doily. Oops, I moved, I slipped. That's fine, we'll see. And that's a good example. I'll take it away afterwards. Is that you need to take your doily, or if it was a stencil, once you're finished. When the paint is still wet, you need to take it off, because otherwise what can happen is that when you wait for the glue to dry, what can happen is while you're going to take away your stencil, the paint is going to go off at the same time. Yeah, it's not totally perfect because I moved. And I'm going to show you this right now. Let me just clean my hands. I moved a little bit here. Of course, that's the... Let me come a little closer. So that's the spot that is not right. I can take it away right now, actually. But I'm going to leave it as is and show you how you can take it away afterwards when it's dry. And maybe here I moved a little bit. But I think, in general, the design is not too bad. And also what you can use, in case you made a mistake, is this kind of tool. Let me take a smaller one. You know, the tools that you can use for nails, that you can use also to, when you want to give volume to your flowers, you do this in the center of your flowers. Well, they come in a variety also of diameters and sizes, and you can just put this into your paint like this. If you missed a spot, and come back and give a bit more details like this. Can you see that? This one I chose is maybe a bit bigger, but I just want to show you, because I can't do too big close-ups, that you can still come and give more interest. And why not making a very big one here? Like that, okay? And maybe do a flower pattern. I'm just using one color here, but of course you can change colors. I don't have enough. And you don't really have to have any skills to do this. I'm going to make the center of the flower a bit bigger. There you go. Another little decoration, and maybe one more here and one more there. Why not? See? Very, very simple. And then you just need to leave it to dry. If you feel like, you can try to do the opposite side of your glass, but I'm going to leave this to dry for a few minutes because acrylic paint does dry very quickly, and I'm going to show you how you can take this one off. Actually, maybe you can't see it that much here, so let me do another mistake, and I'm going to put it here. Alright, so now you're going to see it better. Okay, so I'm going to leave this to dry, and I'll be back in a second. Okay, my paint has dried, so now I'm going to use my X-Acto knife, and I just need to take this away to show you how easy. So as you can see, I'm putting my blade not straight up, but really parallel to my glass. So I'm not going to do any damage to my glass, actually, and I'm just flicking the paint off very easily, and I don't have to press hard there. You couldn't do this if it was a special glass paint. I'm going to take this one off as well before doing the other side of my glass. And it's so easy. You don't need to use any kind of medium. You don't need white spirit for this or acetone. Just that, enough. And you really can't see anything. You can't see there was any kind of paint. So what I'm going to do now is finish this one up, and I'll show you one of the decorations I'm going to use for this one. And of course, you'll be able to choose also your colors. So let me be back in just a minute. Alright, and for the final touch, I'm going to be using some tools. So for the purpose of the video, I'm going to use this blue one because I wanted to put some white, but you won't be able to see much. Or I had this red, but this red is a bit too dark compared to this blue that is also dark. So I wanted something lighter. Of course, you can choose any of the colors you wish. And this one is a bit too thick, so I decided to fold it in half. It was about 2 inches and a half, so 2 inches and a half. So I decided to fold it in half, so it's going to be also more visible. And I'm just going to put it on the top of my glass. All right, I'm going to make this knot a little different. Let me see. I know that you're not seeing much right now. I'm going to show you better this way. And depending on the shape of your glass, because mine is going thinner, I need to secure it with a little bit of glue. So you would put a little dab of glue just here, and I'm going to make a little bow. So I'm going to show you maybe just 2 options, but of course there would be probably more options. And I would make just a little bow here, just a little tiny one. So, okay, and then of course trim the excess away, right? So just a little tiny bow. And then the option is, for example, to put maybe a little flower like this. It can be a paper flower. This one is made out of fabric. So you could put just a little flower here on top since you already have the bow. That's fine. Or what you can also do, I have, for example, here another paper flower. I also think is quite cute. And the other option is just to tie a knot, probably a double knot actually, here to really make it secure. Otherwise, again, you would need a little bit of hot glue. Trim off the excess. And what I have here, this flower normally came with this little, I just bought these on AliExpress. They came with this little ornament on the back, and it wasn't really holding on very well, so I unglue it. And you can totally, without putting the bow, putting this here on top as well as a nice decoration. Let me put it like this. I'm going to trim off the excess. You know what? I'll always be able to keep. I'll do something with the rest, maybe for a card. So glue this one on top here. All right. And another dab of glue just to make it really secure, and put my flower here on top. I'm going to put it this way. And it was crushed a little bit. There you go. So I think this one is also very cute. So you see, you can have different ways of decorating your glass. You could put some other beads around it. I think it's really enough because there's a lot of decorations around here. So I don't want to put too much. So it's a tone on tone, which I usually like doing tone on tones. Or if I had a light pink, or just some tulle like this one. It's not completely white. That would be also a very nice color. But I was just scared that you would not see much with the white background. So look at that, so easy to do. And when you have enough of your decorations, you take the whole thing away. This, you're not going to lose it. You're going to be able to use it for other projects. Of course, this needs to be put down a little better. And then you just put this under cold water in the sink and you're going to be able to take it away. So this is what I like about this project because it's really cute. This can give you also an idea for maybe for a marriage or something. You could use also, like I said in the beginning, glass paint, but this was just to change a little bit your decorations. I like to do that, you know, just leave it for a couple of weeks and then change for another color. So I'm going to show you again the one that I have here in green. I really like these colors, a little bit of brown, a little bit of green, and the white here. This is white, and it's really, really cute. So there you go. Please, if you like this video, give me some thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell button, and also share on social medias. Thank you so much. Take care and see you soon.